Hi, this is Matthew. We're here today with another Love Chat. We're here every day at the same time. This time it's 10 p.m. in New York, and it's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines where I live. That's 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 20th of June, 2019. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope your life is filled with love. That's what we're all about here. We're about learning about love and applying love to our lives, loving ourselves, loving others, loving the earth, understanding love and being love and practicing love and learning about love and sharing the love. And that's what we're doing here. So that's what Love Buddy's all about. And every day we talk about a topic and we relate that to love. And we see how it relates to love. And today it's about reaching out. Now, there are about 68 qualities of love that we've defined so far. I'm sure there are many more, and we'll keep adding them. Love is our understanding of love, and our growth in love is a dynamic thing. You could say, how tall is a person? How tall is a 3-year-old? Or how tall are you? You know, it depends, right? When you're a baby, you're short because you're small, because you're just born. The older you get, the taller you get, right? So that's a dynamic thing because you're growing. Why should it be any different with your faith in love, with your practice of love, with your understanding of love, with being able to love and learning to love? It's going to change. You're going to grow. You're going to learn different things. You're going to go through stages, and we do that. So our understanding of love changes, and it's a dynamic thing. Love itself, I think, in my opinion, love is something that's kind of everywhere, and I think it's the foundation of the universe, and I think everything is made of love. And the closer we get to that, in harmony with that, in cooperation with love, and we get in that frequency and that vibration where we're in a harmonic with love, life goes smoothly. Everything that we want, everything we need to do, everything we want to learn, all of our interactions, all of our goals, all of our dreams, they all happen smoothly. Why? Because we're in harmony with love, and that is not pushing, that's understanding, it's listening, it's being compassionate, it's being nurturing, it's communicating. So these are some of the 68 qualities of love. And one of the qualities of love that we're going to talk about today is love reaches out. It's about reaching out. And reaching out can really make us vulnerable because we're extending ourselves, right? People talk about, oh, thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate aloha and Godspeed to your dreams. Thank you so much. Godspeed to yours as well. Wish you the best. Wish you a lot of love in your life. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Let's see now, what am I talking about? Wanted to say something about how love reaches out. Now that's a matter of physics. So everything about love is really based upon theoretical physics. It can fall back on that. It can fall back on what we know about the grand unified theory. Everything about love works, and it's the foundation of everything in existence. So when it comes to reaching out, what are the physics of that? Well, if you're going to throw a ball from point A to point B, let's say you're on the beach and you're playing with volleyball. Well, there are other factors. There are things like the wind. There's resistance of just hitting the air. There may be other resistance that I don't know about with physics because I'm not a physics expert. So you have to throw the ball a little bit harder than just only reaching from point A to point B. When you're communicating with another human being, we have a lot of factors. We have volume, we have pronunciation, we have vocabulary, we have language, we have paradigm and understanding, we have mood, we have intention. These are all factors that can affect a communication as simple as, could you please hand me the bread? So if the person is, and maybe they have a different definition for bread. When I was a kid, I used to joke around with my family, drive my sister crazy. I wouldn't differentiate between muffins and rolls and biscuits and different types of bread. And I would call them the wrong thing. And I would say, please pass the biscuits. And we don't have any biscuits on the table. We might have dinner rolls or something like that. Well, that was a joke. But in reality, you know, there's different types of bread around the country. You know, there's like a salty, flat bread that the Chinese, they call it, what do they call it? They can call it Well, one of them is a jianbing, but the one that I'm thinking of, oh, 葱油饼, which is a kind of it's a flatbread that's grilled, that's done on a flat skillet, and it's got onions in it, and it's got some oil in there, and it's a very simple taste. They translate that into pancake, and being an American, that's absolutely nothing like a pancake. We use different terminology for things. We use approximations. Also, because I've lived years in China and I know the language pretty well, they also translate what they call jiaozi into dumplings. Now, these are Chinese dumplings. If you use the word dumplings, where I grew up was more like a Hungarian influence. There were Jewish people around me, and I don't know if it's a Jewish food or if it's Hungarian food or a combination, but their dumplings are round and kind of bready. But if you know what the Chinese dumplings are, it's a completely different thing. And so when we use the word dumpling, or we use the word pancake, or we use the word bread, or we use the word love, we use the word I'm sorry, we use these different communications, we've got to understand that the other person on the other end, if they're in a bad mood, they don't want to hear it. If we've said it before, but our actions have proven that we are not sincere to them, they say, oh, you say this, but you do that. They don't trust us. They don't believe us. It doesn't matter what we say. There are so many hurdles that we need to overcome at times, especially when we're dealing in a heated situation, where there's frustration, where there's some anger, where there's lack of trust, resentment, where there's not a lot of love in the air. There's not a lot of openness, not a lot of trust, not a lot of listening, not a lot of willing to understand. But there's a contention there, there's an aggravation, and there's a lot of ridges, right? You can feel that. When there's a lack of love, there's a tightening of the muscles, right? There's a tightening of there's a tightening of all of the reactions. And there's literally ridges in the air that are stopping our intention of getting through. And it could be that our intention is to aggravate somebody, to get them back, to show our hate, to show our frustration. And it's not meant to show love, compassion, understanding. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, thanks, Michael. Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know. I'm not a strong political guy because I'm so convinced that no matter who we have in politics, we still need to have strong community. We still need to have a conscious population. And so much of the time, we don't have a conscious population. So police get away with anything. Politicians get away with anything. Corporations get away with anything because they have this docile, ignorant, brainwashed public that they can manipulate completely. And they just take it for granted. Oh, we have to go bomb that country. Oh, we have to pay all our money to the government. That's our hard-earned money. We don't have any choice about where it goes or how much we give. So thing after thing that comes up with politics. But I mean, everything I've heard about Tulsi, I love it. Great so far. I really like Tulsi. Marianne Williamson, absolutely. I recently bought one of her books about, I forgot the title of the book, but Marianne Williamson is one of the great pioneers in modern times, bringing love to the fore. And yeah, she's wonderful too. So, okay, welcome, folks. So going on here with this point about love, and let me see, because I'm losing track. Okay, so it's a matter of physics. So in order to overcome their resistance, the confusion, the lack of understanding, the lack of love, right? Because lack of love is chaos. Love brings order to chaos. Love automatically. When you love your car, you're going to polish that. You're going to fix it. You're going to clean up the dirty grease and the oil, the tar stains. You're going to make sure the tires are new and clean, looking clean. You're going to make sure that the seats are clean. You know, love, when you love something, you love your baby, you're going to make sure the baby is healthy. They're wearing these nice, cute little clothes, and they're happy. They're getting good nutrition. Love takes care of things. And when you love something, you take care of it. You have a compassion for it, and that's order out of chaos. When you love your home isn't a disaster. It's not a mess. Things are organized. I'm not talking about going so crazy to being a clean freak or to being a Nazi about organizing things. I'm just talking about taking care of things and keeping things in order. So love is a matter of physics. Automatically organizes things. And when we're loving, when we're understanding, when we're nurturing, when we're nurturing another person, we're automatically going to be kind to them, and we're going to be helping them, empowering them, helping them to grow. So when it comes to this reaching out, we go the extra mile. We go maybe into we stick our neck out. It's called sticking your neck out. We cross the line. We go into their territory, and we're willing to eat their food, take our shoes off if that's their custom. You know, when I was in Thailand, I've been to about 50 countries so far. One of the interesting countries, China has just so many ideas about how you're supposed to behave. Who pays for dinner, where that person's going to sit, who eats first, who eats what, who's presented what, who orders. 90% of the people at the table have zero input on ordering. That person at the table, I mean, they just are in charge of everything. And even how you put the teapot down, how much tea you pour into a cup, how much beer do you, it's not the same. So there are so many customs that you need to understand. Now, this is when it comes to a culture, I'm talking about a country. Thailand, you can't point at something with your foot. It's really rude. You can't use your finger to point at something. You can't say something critical about the king. Forget it, man. You go to jail for that. Or you can't move something with your foot. Now, this isn't just cultures and countries. This is every single individual has their own culture. They have their own belief system. They have their own rules, their own ideas, and you can't say this word. What about using profanity? Some people, it makes the relationship stronger because it's kind of a fun way to talk in extremes and hyperbole and use swear words. Other people, that's it, man. You're considered someone who's crude, someone who's uneducated, someone who's rude, and someone who doesn't have any social skills. We're all human beings, but some of us really have certain hoops to jump through. We have certain behaviors. All of us have these things. Some of us really have more, I guess you could say. So love reaches out. When you reach out, you're willing to accommodate the other person's culture. You're willing to accommodate their beliefs, their ideas, their needs. You're being vulnerable. You're sticking your neck out. You're accommodating them. You're modifying how you believe, things you believe or things that you say. Anyway, your behavior, you're modifying your behavior to accommodate them. Don't speak loudly in the library. Don't shout in the library. Don't play your music loud after 10 o'clock. Don't let your dog poop on my lawn. Don't point at me. Don't get in my face. Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. These are all things that a person can get frustrated about, get angry about, and then close the door. And when we want to repair relationships, when we want to get along with other people, we have to reach out. We have to be willing to compromise, willing to understand where they're coming from. And this is what reaching out is about. This is about saying, I'm not going to contact them. It's their turn to contact me. They never contact me. Some relationships that we want to keep, relationships that are important to us, people that we care about, people that, people that need us. These are all situations where we might want to consider our behavior. And how many times does it happen in relationships, in families especially? Because you don't pick your family, right? Well, some people believe you do. Some people believe that as a spirit creature, before you're born, you do pick your family. I'm not going to say either way. Sometimes it seems like that could possibly be true. Whether you pick your family or not, sometimes we don't get along very well, do we? With our own siblings, with our parents, with their own children. There are people that are alienated from their children. It can be a real challenge. Relationships, stick your neck out, and you're going to get your head chopped off sometimes. And you've got to stick your neck out again. And you've got to make sure your intentions are pure. And there is a science to that. And there's an art to that. There's an art and a science to reaching out. And when you're really wanting to be nurturing, be kind, be compassionate, be understanding with other people, that's going to happen. Okay, let's look at Michael's comment here. Rob Call Bottom Up Radio Show. Rob Call Bottom Up Radio Show and founder of OEN has just published a bottom up book, which you're going to buy, huh? Next check. Okay, personally looking for Tom, loosen the screws they have put on communities. That's my view in a nutshell. Okay, I don't know much about this radio show, and I don't know much about this guy. But if you're talking about loosening up the screws they put on communities, I'm all for communities. And I think communities, community is the expression of love in your local geographical area. So if you're a loving person, if you're love-centered, if love is your foundation in life, and that's what drives you, and that's what helps you decide what you're going to do, you're automatically going to be interested in community. You're automatically going to be involved with the people around you. You're automatically going to be, see, I'm trying to like this. Here we go, love. You're automatically going to be reaching out to the people around you. So, and this could be virtual communities, online communities, which are so much more popular today, so much safer and convenient for people than a local community center. But I also feel that local community centers are absolutely vital and essential to having a better world, to having a loving world. And people that love their neighbors, people that love in their lives, are going to automatically be involved in community. If you understand love, you're going to build community, because community is a result of love. Just like positive relationships are a result with love. Rich, deep, meaningful, nurturing relationships automatically happen. Whether it's with our mate, whether it's with our family, whether it's with people around us, whether it's with our workmates even too. Everywhere we interact with people, everywhere we interact in life, if we're love-centered, if we're have a love foundation, we're going to be building community, we're going to be building relationships, and part of that is reaching out. So today I just wanted to share this idea about reaching out and how we can get our nose chopped off when we do that. And that's okay. That happens. That's part of loving. Part of loving is being willing to take chances like that. And yeah, it can hurt, but if you love yourself, you heal quickly and you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. Why? Because you relate your happiness and your joy is not based upon other people completely accommodating what your dream was about the relationship. When you say, oh, I want to be friends with that guy at work, maybe the guy doesn't want to be friends with you for whatever reason, and maybe there's nothing you can do about it, but you can do your side. You can reach out, you can be kind, you can buy him a coffee when you get coffee in the morning or whatever, to show friendship. And some people just don't want to connect, who knows, for whatever reason. And maybe it hurts. We buy him a coffee, he throws it right in the wastebasket or something like that. And that, wow, I bought that coffee, I paid money for that, and I went through the trouble to get the kind that you like, and here you are reacting that way. That can happen. We can receive feedback like that is kind of hurtful. It can feel hurtful, but it's not the love that hurts. It's our interpretation of that rejection, and we can be joyful about that. We can be happy with that. Yeah, we can, because we accept it. Okay, let the guy be who he wants to be, and let him react how he wants to react. And maybe there's a lesson in this for me. Just because I'm reaching out doesn't make me superior, doesn't mean that I'm right and he's wrong because he threw away the coffee. Don't go there. Just realize that was his reaction, and that's okay. Reach out again if you like. If you want to build that relationship, reach out again, and there's an art to that. And the art doesn't have hard and fast rules, and the art doesn't have right and wrong, and the art doesn't have superior or inferior. It doesn't have those rules. It doesn't have those judgments. We reach out to others, and most of the time, pretty much really a lot of the time, it's going to go really well. And it's really going to help, and it's really going to be beneficial, and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel meaningful. It's going to be nurturing. It's going to be a wonderful part of life when we reach out. And that's part of love. So when we love, we reach out. Love reaches out. It's one of the qualities of love. That's how it works. That's what it does. Okay, so today, that's it for today. We talked about reaching out. We talked about how that works, how that's part of love. Look at some of the links here if you want to see more. Please like the Love Buddy page, join lovebuddy.com, and get the updates and get the information as it's coming out. We've got a course coming up this week that's available, Love 101, an introduction to genuine love. And it's a course that's got about 10 lessons, I think. And it's got videos and worksheets and text and audio and a lot of different things that address this concept of what genuine love is about. So if you're interested in what genuine love is about, you want to have more love in your life, this is the door to that. This is the access to that if you're interested in that. So go ahead and take a look at that. What else? That's it. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your feedback. Appreciate it. Michael, you're so wonderful that you shared some things. Thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you. I hope you're having a lot of love in your life. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you. This is Matthew from Love Buddy. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.